Dear friends, I welcome you to our Bible study online. In this passage, we can possibly have answers such as self, talking about the things he's asking us to leave behind. One is self. Leave self behind, or self-love behind. Leave behind a life lived in our own way. That is, we can no longer live in our own way. We must leave that behind. He wanted them, just as he wants us, to leave behind the thinking of the people around us, the worldview, the mentality of the people around us. That is the world around us. The world that emphasizes hate. The world that emphasizes injustice. And so on and so forth. He wants us to leave that mindset behind. He wants us to leave behind worldly gains. Worldly gains. He also wants us to leave behind fear of being ridiculed for following him. Because today, just as it was over 2,000 years ago, leaving everything to follow Jesus will sometimes bring ridicule and persecution. Oh, why do you always dress like this? Why cannot you dress in the way modern people often dress up? I can't dress in that way because that is not of Christ. Yeah, people will laugh at us and say we are old-fashioned. So, following Jesus can actually bring ridicule to us. Having said that, what is he asking us to pick up as we decide to follow him? I'm sure some of you have answers like taking up our crosses. Taking up our crosses. Another will be following Jesus. Following Jesus. The other will be losing our lives for the sake of Jesus. Another will be having an eternal perspective of life, even while we are still here on earth. That is to say, even though we are still here on earth, we begin to live in terms of eternity, in the light of eternity. These are the things Jesus is asking us to pick up as we make a decision, a fundamental decision, to begin to follow him. Now, the question is, as you make this decision to follow Jesus, what stands in the way of your following him? Or perhaps you're already making an effort to follow. What stands in the way of your following Jesus completely and coming completely under his authority and direction? Is it excessive attachment to the media? Is it excessive consumption of alcohol? Is it addiction to drugs? Could it be ungodly relationships? Could it be too much attachment to business and making money, that I don't have time for Jesus, time to read the Word of God, to study the Word of God and meditate on it, time to pray, time to go to church to worship? Could it be clubbing? Could it be tribalism and unchristian cliques and societies I'm a part of? What is that thing that is standing between you and Jesus, that is standing between you and following Jesus wholeheartedly? Today, what is Jesus asking of you as he says to you, follow me? What is he telling you to leave behind? I want you to reflect for a minute now. Just try to x-ray your life, where you are with Jesus. Think about those things that are still keeping you away from following as much as Jesus would want you to follow. And write them down. Dear friends, thank you for following today's discipleship series. It continues. Make sure you come back for more.